Supporting evidence. Every application, whether you are constructing something new, extending, making alterations, or changing the use, will require at least one type of statement and possibly additional supporting evidence to limit the risk of an unnecessary refusal. The application type and proposed development determine which statements and supporting documents will be required. However, here is an overview of what is typically the minimum required for any planning application. Planning statement or design and access statement. As a minimum, a planning statement or design and access statement are required with any application. These are normally 4 to 50-page documents justifying how the proposed development meets the required planning policies and should therefore be approved. However, you may also require additional statements such as a heritage impact statement, water management statement, drainage statement, waste management statement, and more, subject to the specific requirements for your application. Submitting an application without the required statements would risk the application being refused unnecessarily. Supporting evidence. Sometimes it is beneficial or even a necessity to submit additional documents as evidence to support your application. For example, if you need to prove existing use over a certain period. There is no definitive list of what evidence will be required, but examples include previous planning history, ownership details, rental contracts, utility bills, and photos, to name just a few. Without sufficient evidence to support your case and prove the required facts, your application could be invalidated or unnecessarily refused. Specialist reports. There are over 30 specialist reports that the council may request, in addition to the normal architectural drawings and planning statements. These reports include flood risk assessments, wildlife surveys, ecological reports, bat surveys, transport reports, parking surveys, noise assessments, odour assessments, environmental impact assessments, and more. Specialist reports by their nature require highly skilled experts with unique skills and qualifications, so they can be very expensive and can add delay if required. If you apply without the required documents and evidence, the application may be deemed incomplete and could result in your application being invalidated or even refused. Ownership certificate or agricultural land declaration. When submitting an application, one of two important certificates is required: the ownership certificate or the agricultural land declaration. The ownership certificate confirms that you are the legal owner of the property where you want to make changes or additions. The agricultural land declaration is required if your property is located in an agricultural zone, and it confirms that your proposed development will not interfere with any agricultural activities or land use. Should you choose to instruct planning by design, our town planners aim to prepare your supporting statements and evidence ready to submit your application within 7 days of you approving the architectural design.